hello, chat. We were chatting ourselves and missed pushing the start button. So sorry we're a few seconds late.
Our bad.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's doing well today. Hindu Man, unfortunately, a little under the weather today. So it's just the two of us today.
Yeah, joust the two of us.
We can make it if we try. Talking today about balance. But first off,
is that what we're doing today? Nice.
Yeah, we're going to review the balance document. First off, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I mean, I think this week has gone pretty well. I think, the Wednesday show we showed off Naja and everything like that, the skins and everything has been pretty awesome.
Oh, you know what I should do? I should pull up the... I should pull something up too. Yeah, Wednesday show I think overall went really well.
Yeah.
I think that people were really excited about Naja. It looks great.
And
I think
we had. It's always scary because I wasn't on the show. Obviously, there was a character on PTS that was. I just can't say myself.
Morgan Le Fay.
Okay, there we go. I just hear the confirmation out loud.
Yes, we have confirmed that Morgan Le Fay is coming. We have not talked about the aspect at all.
Yes, that was actually off correctly for the first time. So shout outs to us. And I didn't hear many people talking about Morgan Le Fay. So that's kind of.
I saw Weekend had a reel about it.
Was it a good reel?
There were a lot of views on it.
Oh, okay. I actually completely missed that one, so hopefully it was pretty positive. So that's cool. I'm excited. I'm still working on that one. So I think 2 weeks from now I'll be on the show again talking about Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah, and the aspect. I'm very excited about it. She has a sword for a reason.
Yeah. I messed up the one word aspect teaser.
No, but I thought it
would have just been sword.
I thought it was funnier.
Yeah,
as the way you worded it.
It's funny enough. I know the next one word aspect teaser that I'm going to put out for several more weeks later.
But that god definitely hasn't been revealed yet, so we can't start talking about
But
that.
you already know what the teaser is.
I think I know what it is. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up an image here. Because I wanted to update people on one thing from the show on Wednesday. If I can find it. But I might just have to take a second finding it.
Today's your cat's first birthday. Happy birthday, little Tavares cat. That's cute. Quick, release my card too before they can stop you. I'm on it.
Maybe I have to go into Discord to find this. I'll come back to this in a second. Main thing I wanted to say, I will pull up I'm just going to pull this up.
Yeah.
This is not the full image.
Give it to me.
But chat was notably calling out that the Naja face in the 2D art.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Was not. There were a lot of feedback on what it was, but basically it wasn't. It didn't really fit with the 3D model. Mm-hmm. So quick explanation as to why. We actually sent that splash art out to our 2D splash art contractor before the model was completely done. And it hadn't had the pass to bring it back into alignment with the way that the model was done. So we have updated it. I think this is the final version of the face. There might be a few more tweaks from here, but just so everybody can see, the face has been updated to look more like the Naja model. So definitely heard your feedback that people were, noticed that it was unfinished, and we went back and got that finished. So hopefully it will look really good in game. And I wanted to pull up the whole card art, but I can't find the file right now.
Yeah, I think there was a Reddit thread.
I didn't see it on Reddit anymore either. But
sometimes it's hard to get that filter.
Yeah, but the full version of it, it's big. I think it's a really good card if you see the whole thing. I think that the face in particular, it was zoomed in on the one part that was the least done. So anyway, I just wanted to really quickly talk about that.
Do we have mods in chat? Can someone ban Bobby for or timeout Bobby? Thank you.
Wow, rough. With that quickly out of the way, I think it's probably time to talk some balance.
Let's do it.
Let me pull this up here. I don't want.
People are really, really excited about Naja and all the cool stuff, so let's get them upset about balance.
Well, they might be excited. Well, they're excited.
We've already teased something that I think people are going to be very excited about.
Okay, so here we are, starting with, what's the god that you want to see nerfed the most, chat?
Yeah, I was like, chat. I know this is the answer.
What god do you want to see nerfed the most?
They're all going to say different things.
I just want a little fan interaction moment here.
Oh, we love that.
Kepri, obviously.
Mulan, good one. I don't think he'll phase in this year. So
well, Dave Cola, you're about to be really happy because we are starting out with a nerf to Aladdin.
Whatever Clumsy's playing, that's messed up. Yes, Aladdin is going to get hit by a bit of a nerf.
Yeah. Okay. So
a very targeted one here. Which
very
I think
targeted
important.
To the wall run. We are increasing the cooldown from 16 to 18 per second.
However,
but we are giving you cooldown reduction if you damage a god, which would bring it down lower, so it would be 14 seconds at the high end. Decrease the minimum leap range, decrease the maximum leap range, decrease the wall run max distance and decrease the wall run duration. This keeps the wall run speed approximately the same.
Yeah.
Basically, just a little too slippery, a little too runaway.
A little bit too evasive. Okay. So regardless of the scenario, Aladdin's not going to be able to go as far, whether he's hitting gods or not hitting gods, but he's incentivized to be aggressive.
Yeah.
If he's hitting the gods, he's getting a larger cooldown reduction than if he was not hitting gods and he's just trying to escape. So overall, we think his potency is in a pretty good place, but the place that he's the most effective is his slipperiness.
Okay,
so that
makes good sense. Apollo getting a little buff here. We are buffing the damage on the moves, his dash, and increasing the scaling on it. And we are removing extra mana cost to carry allies in the ultimate.
Yeah, so a little bit of love just in general to Apollo. The moves is 3. It's not something you use super aggressively, but when you do, you should be rewarded for it, right? So like now, if you're going to go in, it's a small base damage increase, but that scaling is going to matter a little bit more. And Across the Sky, this one was really interesting because when I think this was pitched from the ambassadors, and when Paul and I went over and talked about it, we're like, you know what? This was added kind of like almost like preemptively as a balance mechanism in case we needed it, but it almost just felt like punishing for the sake of punishing. We want people to do this. We want people to join in their allies and try this new feature, but this mana cost was actually so detrimental that no one really even wanted to try it at all. So if anything, let's give people a try. Let people ferry in their teammates and see how that feels. I think that should be a lot more exciting.
And chat's asking, I don't know if you know, is this apply to base and aspect? Does the aspect also get the damage bonus on the 3 and remove mana cost on the ult?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the scaling will be different for the aspect, I believe, but anything that's shared and the same for both of them will be shared and the same.
Okay. Artemis is getting a buff,
and if not, let me know because then I messed it up.
Okay. Transgressor's Fate is getting a, which is the trap.
That is the trap. Yep.
She has weird ability names.
She does.
The trap, the cooldown is going from, instead of scaling for 14 to 10 seconds, it's just going to be 10 seconds.
Yep.
And we are increasing the damage per tick by 15 at max rank, 3 at lowest rank. How many ticks does it hit for?
Quite a lot. It was either like
quite a few.
It's like 9 maybe, or maybe it was 10. I don't know. It was quite a bit, but also like you're not going to be hitting people for the max amount of ticks unless you're playing it on the PvE sake, which does matter too. Like you can stack those up on lane. You can stack those up when you need to kind of like Arachne web style in the old days. But the aspect, when it came out, it was quite good. We nerfed it and we kind of like never really addressed it that much. We even had like effects updates to make sure the traps are more visible. So if anything, she got even more further nerfed, some might say. So this should feel a lot better.
Cool. Coming up next, Cabrakan. We're buffing Cabrakan? I'm surprised
He's
by that.
actually one of the worst gods in the game right now.
Really? He has been, every time I've seen him in solo lane, he has just been a terror. But the data may not
This isn't
align
also
with
the
that.
biggest buff, and it's kind of catered more towards like the mid to the late game, where if anything, he's the early to mid game bully. But late game, he doesn't really do as well. So we're giving him a little bit more sustain on the refraction shield. This only actually happens on the empowered refraction shield, so it's not like you're going to get this every time. But then the seismic crush base damage is going to be scaling a little bit harder to the late game. So it's
and the seismic crush is the punch, right?
That's the one, the running at you.
The power punch. Okay, got it. Makes sense. A little more damage on the punch and a little more healing on your recast of your 2. Next, Kernanos is getting a buff, my boy.
Kernanos is getting a buff. He kind of just needed one a little bit everywhere. We know for the record that like there's a heavy desire for a little bit more push on the intelligence side. You're going to see just the tiniest bit here. This isn't really, the goal here isn't to just affect intelligence. It's kind of just going to give him a baseline buff a little bit in the right spots. We will look at intelligence for a lot more characters. I know there's a heavy desire for the hybrid and for those characters in general. Same thing for aspects and those that are being unutilized. There's a lot of room to improve for a lot of these sections, but certain notes needed buffs, so we're just going to be giving a little bit more spring heal scaling for intelligence only. The summer's damage scaling is going to be going up based on whichever is highest, your strength or your intelligence. So technically affects both. And regardless of what you are, or technically this match the aspect, but the winter slow duration is going to be increased. So that way, when you kind of just swap to winter, you have a little bit more time when you swap back to have them still be debuffed. And then overall, the ulti is going to just do a little bit more damage early to mid game and keeping it the same for the late game.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like an interesting little buff here to Kernanos. But we'll be nerfing Chiron.
Okay, it is generally a pretty tiny nerf.
That's a really small nerf.
Chiron has been doing well, but not well enough that I don't even think we did any like hotfix nerfs or anything like that.
No, just a well-balanced god.
He's well-balanced, and people just, he was perceived a little bit stronger than people expected because he's new. Simple as that. People don't know how to react to him. Bluestone damage, the masterful shot damage early game is quite a lot. His +1s feel pretty good. His aspect has released, and there's not been a lot of murmur there either. I think it's doing slightly less strong than Chiron base, but that's because it's kind of a unique enchanter support kind of playstyle. So this is a 10% nerf on Masterful Shot. However, because he has that refire mechanism, when you get enough strength, this technically is an additional 10% nerf.
Kind of a 20%.
It's a 20% nerf for the late game, but a 10% nerf just in general.
Okay. Coming up next, Discordia is getting nerfed. Her dash is going to be a shorter range.
Yeah. So
and we've decreased the tween time. So it probably makes it travel at the same speed, given it's
exactly.
shorter.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can already feel some people both the excitement in chat and also Saichi yelling at me.
And then decreased the max range on the ultimate from 50 meters to 35 meters.
Okay. So there's definitely some important stuff here. The tween distance / speed is parity in Smite 1 to what it came in to be in Smite 2. That being said, due to whatever reasons, people always felt like it was a little bit too strong, that the time she's getting of invulnerability in this kind of tween or leap time is a little bit too high. So, we thought this would be the right place to hit her, because while Discordia is somewhat evasive, she's not meant to be known to be like the one that gets away all the time. But between her 3, her CC, and the fact that she can CC immune on the ulti, this is where we thought would be the right place to nerf. And then the ultimate, there's a lot of people brought up that this wasn't parity. That's totally my bad. There was so many timings on the ulti that I just kind of ended up going with what felt good, and what felt good to me was quite a bit way too strong. And I'm pretty sure the Ambassador channel and there were some advocates that we may see in chat kind of made sure that things felt good, but I'm kind of just messing with Saichi a little bit more. But the Discordia Apple did go quite a bit too far, in Smite 2, which also meant like the speed was also a little bit high. This isn't the full nerf all the way. It's like 80% of the way there. But
so
should
it's
feel
still a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I think it was basically around 30 meters would be the exact parity, but 35 felt pretty solid without being too much of a decrease. So I apologize, but she also needed it. Like, Discordia is doing quite well right now.
Yeah, she seems good. Rebuffing Guan Yu, my boy, increasing damage on the 2, scaling from 90 to 310, so plus 10 across the board.
Just a simple small one there.
And increased damage on the Talu Assault, just
per
2,
tick,
but it's per tick,
just
and
tick,
it hits
so
a lot
does
of times.
Actually, this might have been the one that does 10. I think this was the one that did 10. I can't remember.
It does a lot of ticks.
It is a lot of ticks. Guan Yu is generally doing okay, but this is just going to give him a buff across the board. And for people who are like such small base damage numbers, as we've said for the entirety of Smite 1, and we will continue to say Smite 2, for like warriors and gods who like are constantly in the fray of things, small base damage numbers are so much. And as Pond is saying in chat too, it can do even more with attack speed. So that tick number you see with the Talu Assault is technically going to be even further buffed if you build attack speed.
Okay. Coming up next, Hu Yi is getting a nerf /fix.
Okay, wait, this one slipped in. I didn't even know about this.
So his dive bomb, we are increasing the pre-fire time from 0.0667.
That's great. That's 2 frames. For the record, that's like 2 frames. 0.06. Yep, that's just
it's one of those numbers.
It's one of those numbers, and it's rounding up
to
funny numbers.
0.1667 seconds. So an extra 1/10 of a second pre-fire. And this should better sync up with when he becomes untargetable to when he leaves the ground in the animation.
Yeah, I think even when we brought Hu Yi into Smite 2, it started as a 0. Then we did a couple of pre-fire adjustments for Hu Yi upwards and then other characters downwards. But the one that has always stood out was Hu Yi. So I know upon had a look at this one, and this should feel a lot better and will hopefully curtail some of the issues. That being said, server-client disagreement will always mean that there's going to be a little bit of funkiness regardless of who you play and whether it's a leap or not. So
yeah, but it should be more.
It should be much more reliable and understandable.
Okay, Jormungandr, we're nerfing the Snick.
Yeah, this is a small one, kind of targeted for his that newer +1 component, which is that stacking damage that you the stacking debuff that you put on enemies that leads up to a bonus damage. We felt like this was a part throughout the game that continued to be strong. So we're actually increasing the amount of stacks it takes to cause that burst damage from 10 to 14. Simple as that.
Okay, makes sense. Nuwa is getting nerfed. We're decreasing the lifetime of the soldiers at lower ranks.
This is funny. Yeah, this is very targeted. Nuwa's still doing quite well right now. Honestly, I just had so many people that just go like, why do these clay soldiers last so long? And then I would like first them against them as well. Like, especially in early game, when it's just like, why? Get off of me. Like, this is just taking way too long. So yes, they're being nerfed just a little bit. Early to mid game specifically, late game, they're still gonna be able to tank objectives, do whatever they need to be for the full 10 seconds.
Their HP scales off of your HP too.
Yeah. No, they're good.
Yeah, support Nuwa.
It's a thing.
Anyway, Newt Aspect is getting nerfed once again. We are removing the damage mitigation per stack on Cosmic Flux from 0.5% to 0%.
It's gone.
It's gone. And Warp decreased crowd control
By quite a
immunity
bit.
duration by half, from 1.5
Yeah.
seconds to 0.75 seconds.
Newt's aspect has been hit a few times, has continued to feel pretty good, but pretty good in the places where we wanted to be very careful about, right? So the damage mitigation per stack on Cosmic Flux is being removed, but that's not because we want Newt's aspect to be like less tanky and fulfill less just in general if you're going to build them support. In fact, if you're building them support and you're building them with tanky stuff, like that's what we want you to do. But now you're just not going to get free damage mitigation. If you're going Newt aggressively, you shouldn't be rewarded with defenses, basically.
Makes sense.
And same thing with the Warp in a similar degree is that it's provided a lot, 1.5 seconds of like anyone that's around you has CC immunity on a decent cooldown as well. That's just too often.
That's longer than Talisman of Purification,
that sounds about right.
I think Talisman's 1 second. So,
yeah. So that was probably a little bit too good and happened a little bit too frequently, but by halving the duration, it should feel way less frustrating.
Okay. Coming up next, Osiris. We are buffing Osiris. We are decreasing the cooldown on his 3 from 15 seconds to 15, scaling to 13. So as you rank it up, it'll have a lower cooldown. And the Lord of the Afterlife increased damage by 30 at base rank and 10 at max
scaling
rank.
a little bit less. Honestly, just some. I'm almost called quality of life buffs. These are just balance buffs, small things to give Osiris a little bit of love. We didn't want to hit the aspect. The aspect is actually still not doing that great.
Really?
But, based on the perception of it, we wanted to be a bit more careful, especially post its release. But Osiris has just needed some love. Like, if you think about the Soul Lane, there's a lot of characters there who have been thriving. Osiris has not been one of them for actually quite a long period of time.
Okay. Pele is getting a buff. Her 1 is going to have a reduced cooldown. Instead of starting from 15 and going into 13, it's just going to be 13.
These actually ended up being quite similar, these two buffs back to back.
Yeah, and then the Eruption increased the inner ring damage from 70 to 250 to 85 to 265.
Just a little bit of love across the board.
Across the board.
She's just not doing super hot. We wanted to give her a little bit of fuel for that magma.
Yeah, I still think she's good, but we'll see.
I think I want to see a little bit more of her soul lane stat or her aspect stats as well and see how that does. But I know you've always performed really well on Pele, so
yeah,
that's been awesome to see.
Sun Wukong, I am very excited to see this.
Yeah,
this is my favorite kind of buff, by the way. We are raising Sun Wukong's base stats to more closely match those of similar gods.
Yeah,
essentially. Some of his base protections and hit point numbers and whatnot. I mean, his hit points numbers was the big one, right?
Health was the biggest one, especially the per level one. Yep,
was much more like a mage's
yes.
health pool instead of like a
was
more
this
tanky
something that you mentioned, or was it the ambassador's channel? I remember seeing this somewhere, and I'm like, wait a second, like let's have a look, and it was just true. I think this was actually technically I did it, so I'm gonna call myself out here. When I ported Sun Wukong, it's like I don't believe I updated the curve table correctly, and these were just the wrong numbers for a warrior for the most part. Even we don't use classes that much, we want to bring parity for similar types of characters. So
should feel the way they feel at least.
Exactly.
Right?
So yeah, my bad. But at the same time, Sun Wukong released decently strong. So I think all of that was really foreshadowed with the strength of the passive, with his aspect and stuff like that. So my bad. But Sun Wukong as a whole has recently not been performing all that well, and we wanted to be careful of obviously just buffing the aspect, because I think that's still the one similar to Osiris that people think might be a little bit too good. But as a whole, for Osiris and Sun Wukong, they're both performing.
Coming up next, Thanatos and Thor. We mentioned this on the show.
On Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. But we did a pass to try and ensure that their ultimate landing warning sounds are audible and occur at the right time for enemy reaction time, and also occur at the location of landing instead of up in the air.
Yes.
So
this should feel way better to react to. Honestly, just like the feedback should just feel way better for everyone around in this scenario, including for Thanatos and Thor too. So hopefully you all feel this. Let us know whether it's adequate.
Vulcan is getting nerfed. The Alternator Dual mod decreased Thumper turret scaling from 10% to 8%.
So this is just like if you have a Thumper at all, it'll be doing a little bit less scaling.
The Shrapnel mod decreased damage per tick from 3 to 15 to 2 to 10.
It seems like small numbers, literally just a little bit, but it scales over time and it ticks several times too.
And Thermal mod decreased scaling from 20% intelligence to 15% intelligence.
Yeah, so that was the extra damage you got from your 1 and your 3, I believe. And then, Inferno Cannon, that's just the damage that it deals at all cases. Vulcan, it's interesting because I feel like there weren't a lot of people hearing about him and then talking about him, and then suddenly it kind of came a lot all at once. I saw it on socials, I saw it on ambassador feedback, I saw people playing him more, and you just wanted to just hit a lot of different spots. And I know there's a desire to buff the underutilized mods, but some of them are kind of hard to buff. And right now it's kind of like let's normalize things and then go from there.
Okay. And then Shibalanke is going to get a shift.
Why were you seemed so worried about that?
No, I was trying to say it like the beginning of Shibalanke.
Shift-a-lanke.
Shift-a-lanke.
Shift-a-lata.
Yeah. I didn't do it well, but that's what I was attempting to do. He's getting his increased attack speed is going up on his ultimate.
We're buffing his buff.
And his increased movement speed is going up at lower ranks.
Yeah, so this is for the non-aspect specifically. For non-aspect and aspect, Xbalanque are doing not so great. So we want to give a little bit of love, not a ton of love, and especially not all the time. So the ulti, when you want to utilize that well, your buff is going to get a little bit better early to mid game.
Yeah.
You can see the late game numbers are exactly the same.
Yeah, it's like 8, 6, 4, 2, and then nothing.
Exactly.
Right? So. And then aspect of the Night Stalker.
Okay, so this is the shift. This is important because honestly, let's like go all the way to that one bullet point where it says this ability no longer resets the cooldown of poison darts. That was sick. I'm so glad we both stuck with that. That was awesome. Yes. So this is a big one. When this was first created, this seemed like honestly kind of like a fun little thing to do. It's like, oh, you can 2-4-2 and that's cool. Turns out it's only fun for like the Xbalanque. Like it's, it's not that great.
Yeah,
and the frustrating thing is like he has an entirely new ability with his branching bola.
Yeah.
Like that's where the focus kind of should be. So, the ultimate is getting a pretty heavy nerf with that, but I think one that should just make him feel less frustrating. And the increased ability damage is going up. That's, the valve that we want to play with a bit more.
Yeah.
And the first ability, which no one uses anyways, is now hopefully going to be utilized a bit more.
Okay, that makes sense. We're just trying to get it away from that burst of 2-4-2.
Yeah, that's not the aspect, right? The aspect should be playing him ability based, playing him with his new one more.
Yeah. Okay. And I believe that's it for gods because we went through alphabetically.
Yeah,
I have a very important question before we go on to items. What's going on with Uller? I feel like Uller's just running rampant.
Okay, you catch me out of left field here. So Uller is doing good. He is still doing good, and we did nerf him last patch with a target nerf for his one to not go through walls, which is pretty big. And the Hydra's Lament was people are like, was that just a nerf for Uller? Kinda. It was brought up for Uller, Jingwei utilized as well, and ranged characters as a whole. He's still doing well. We're going to continue monitoring, especially with the attack damage and ability damage like splits. So there's a lot of different itemization that changed as well. But I mean, I have felt the wrath of Uller.
Okay.
I think it's mostly been jungle Ullers actually that have been hitting me hard. But we'll continue to monitor stats, and if they continue to be good, then we will probably see him in the next patch.
Okay. Well, we have a lot of items to talk through, and maybe some of these items will further address the terror of Uller, in my opinion.
A little bit.
Okay. So back to balance here. Sorry for the interlude. Blinking Abyss has been fixed. You can no longer use this item while crippled.
So this is the Blink upgrade, and yeah, I think this just kind of matches parity in a way. It gives you a movement, and now if you're crippled, you can no longer use that movement.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Makes sense. Bumba's Golden Dagger and Bumba's Cudgel. We have increased the minion damage reduction from 25% to 40%. And then at level 1, minus 1.5% per level. So realistically,
it's a shift. But what this is saying is that like, okay, there are still a lot of laners using both of these jungle-based starter items,
and that's not what we want.
That's not really what we want. We could say we want some level of flexibility, but that's not really what's intended. There's been a lot of pitches on like other ways or even more ham-fisted ways to address this issue. But there is a valve and a mechanism here to balance this, so let's utilize that a bit more. But we also wanted to take this opportunity to make this feel less punishing for the junglers later in the game.
Trying to clear waves.
Exactly. Like once you get to the point where you're level 20 and you've got fire giant minions kind of coming against you, like it shouldn't feel continuously punishing. That was never the intent. So it's a shift. It's a pretty heavy nerf to the early to mid game, and it ends up being actually a buff to the late game for those starter items. Hopefully getting hunters to utilize them a little bit less.
Okay. Erendite, decreased strength, going down by 10.
Numby was too big, Numby go down.
It was a big Numby.
Yeah, it was a big Numby.
Yeah. Titan's Bane, decreased strength, going down by 10.
Titan's Bane has probably been one of the best strength items in the game for a very long time. And the strength to intelligence parity number, I mean, sure, the gold cost, I think, was off by like 50, but it wasn't quite the same. So we took this opportunity to, address, as Bobby would say, some of these strength jungle items are too broken. So let's reduce a little bit of their power.
Coming up next, we have Kinsblade.
Here comes,
this is a big one. I'm just going to scroll down and read the whole thing.
Let's do Soul Reaver as well because they're both being hit by the same spot.
Okay, so we have removed the current method for determining damage. We have removed the anti-heal component on Kinsblade. It now deals damage based on a mixture of the target's base health and the target's item health.
Yes.
So it does 1.5% of the target's base health and 3% of the target's item health. Soul Reaver, instead, again, it's a change. It's getting 15 more intelligence, and it will do damage based on 1% of base health and 2% of item health.
Yeah, so effectively we're making, taking Shin's Blade, taking Soul Reaver, and using this time to just re-identify exactly what they are and keeping this simple, which is if people are opting into health or if people are healthier, you buy these to kind of knock that down, regardless of your health pool. Now, there's not a case where that should actually matter anymore. If you're a squishy, even if you're a tank and you want to knock other people's and go an offensive option, you now have the ability to do so because it's not going to be comparing your stats to their stats. It is just, hey, how healthy is that person? If more, let's do some damage to them.
Cool. Also, we are making some changes to anti-heal items.
Yes.
So I'm going to go through these one at a time. So Divine Ruin, we have removed the existing anti-heal logic, and we have now added healing reduction when you damage with abilities or attacks from 0 to 25%. It does not stack with God anti-heal. So
that's the big bullet point.
If a God has the built-in 25% anti-heal as part of one of their abilities, this does not stack on top of that. The maximum that you can be anti-healed as a God is 25%.
Exactly.
And we have increased the healing reduction applied from the chain lightning, so that will also apply 25%, and it's going to have 10 fewer intelligence on it.
Yes. So I would say let's just keep going through the next two.
And then Stygian Anchor will now echo more healing back to you. We have removed the movement speed slow. Is it really an anchor anymore? And we
still
have
got the attack speed slow, I believe.
Sure. And we have increased the healing reduction applied from your attacks or abilities from 0 to 25%. And Brawler's Beatstick has been reworked. It now has the same 25% healing reduction.
But
this is your strength option if you are a strength user.
Outside of like Avenging Blade, which has the soft anti-heal option.
Yes. And while you are in combat, you will get 2% strength, 2% intelligence, and 2% protections every 1.5 seconds up to 5 stacks. You will lose 1 stack every 0.5 seconds out of combat.
Yes. So these are the 3 new quote-unquote anti-heal options. I think the big bullet point, like we talked about on Wednesday, we're talking about here, is that if you have another source of anti-heal, these do not stack. If you have 2 items here, they won't stack. If you have a god in an item, they won't stack. These are all using the same type of application and is the same strength and the same duration. So, there's been a lot of clamor for anti-heal. There's been a lot of clamor for like, hey, how can we have options to kind of deal with it that aren't just based in the match lobby? This is the answer towards this. Like, we're okay with this level of anti-heal. It shouldn't feel so oppressive that like every game, if you see like, an Aphrodite or someone who hasn't even built into like a supportive option, that you feel the need to buy anti-heal. But if you want to shut that down a little bit more, it's going to take a little bit of investment to do so. Like we see nerfs here, right? Mm-hmm. We're seeing Stygian and Anchor and Divine Ruin getting small nerfs while they're getting this anti-heal buff. So they're going to be slightly weaker by themselves, but they have a more aligned purpose now.
Awesome. Ragnarok's Wake. We have replaced the placeholder sound effects.
Yeah. I think this was just like we had some issues with sound effects, and Kellen got to them and made them better.
Awesome. And that is the balance that we have overviewed.
We've done it.
We
figured it out.
Game's balanced.
I just immediately look and I see Sad Frog.
Oh. That is the balance that's coming in this update.
Yes.
We are, somebody wants to hear the sound for Ragnarok. I'm sorry, I don't have the client updated on this computer right now. Otherwise, I would jump in and show you. Was
it like that?
I don't know. If Kellen is watching, maybe we can just take that. No, I think it's hopefully a good balance patch. Hopefully, I don't think the game is too far off from being in a good balance state. So I think that some of these tweaks are
generally been pretty happy. The anti-heal pass kind of coming in has been like one of the stronger points here. I know there's still some murmurs on the larger balance passes that we still want to do, there was still on the table. I know Pon's on here every time talking about how we do want to do quite a bit of things. But those will come with time, and I think we're feeling pretty good with where we're at now.
Awesome. There is Pon is reminding us that the temp genie voice is still in the game.
Yeah.
So he is the genie saying
Pon's got voice credits.
Yes, which is kind of funny. Let's see. So
yeah, are we on to Q&A time?
I think we are now on to Q&A. I don't think I have anything else on my to-do list that we need to talk about. So we've talked about this balance overview. If you want the written version of this, I believe it should be up at smiteprime.com now.
Heck yeah.
So if you want to look at the balance notes in a little more detail and share with your friends and whatnot, you can go to smiteprime.com.
Handyman's reminding that Smite Prime itself is on this weekend.
Yeah, the NA Conquest tournament, I believe, is this weekend. If Hindu Man can confirm, but I believe that is the thing that is this weekend. So check it out. Always fun to have some esports to watch. What's the mannequin's name and how do I address him in the future? This is Manny.
Yeah, There we go.
Manny. And he's a god.
It's true. The god of stoicism.
Could we add a way to quickly see if a god has anti-heal built into their kit? Maybe. I don't exactly know how we would reflect that. And it's very easy to put like too much stuff into the game and overwhelm people with like too much information up front. You know, it's really a relatively handful of gods that have it. I think every god should have it in their ability descriptions, but just like a quick reference way. I don't know. Something we could think about.
John Titanforge. I don't know why that's so funny.
What are the specific base stat buffs on Summon Kong? Do you know what they are off the top of your head?
There were so many different components. I'm not going to remember exactly the numbers, but it was just like the biggest ones by far were the per level HP increases and a little bit of prots, I think, per level as well.
Okay.
But it is really aligning them to him to be similar to other bruiser style characters like Bologna.
Okay.
Well, before I think he was maybe even in the mage numbers. Yeah, the big one, like Inbound said, is really it goes up to a 200 late game increase, which is big.
Yeah. Plus, and when you factor in protections as well, right? Then
yeah, it's even more effective HP. Absolutely. Is being able to charge Merc ult but not Athena Latin one intended? I'm not sure what you mean.
There was a question of, will this patch fix the stuttering caused by the last patch? The main source of stuttering that was introduced in the last update was...
Don't worry, we're good.
Was tied to healing numbers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So if certain items, like if you give yourself lifesteal and attack to wave, or war flag, or things that caused a lot of healing numbers to pop up on your screen rapidly, would cause performance issues. That has been addressed for this update. It's possible there's another source that is affecting some people, but the main reason that we have found for what was happening there, we have addressed. We also have added healing number summing in this patch.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Most of the time, healing will just be a single number that kind of counts up the way that works, instead of having 800 ones appear on your screen, because it was a little bit overwhelming.
Sachi goes, hey, Clumsy, how does it feel betraying your biggest supporter? And it's funny because before you even said it, I went, well, I didn't betray Zelron, and then he's in chat also saying I didn't betray him. So he knows. It's good. I've been noticing with instant cast on RTO, sometimes I'm asked to confirm my dash other abilities, and sometimes I'm not. Is it a bug or intended? Instant cast with RTO, sometimes to confirm my other dash and abilities. I'd have to have a look at that. Honestly, being a stance swapper, there's probably some complications there. So I'd be curious if whatever issue you're having is similar to the other stance swappers. I know that we have to be very careful because when we test some of those abilities, everyone has their different, actually this is probably a benefit, is that everyone has different cast styles themselves. Like I know I play on normal cast, but other people play on instant cast and quick cast. But it's very easy to kind of, for whoever's working on that character, to kind of miss the one that they're not working on. So we can have a look at that one specifically. I don't remember hearing about that too much, but I'm sure it is an issue.
Are there any plans to implement a player profile page? Eventually, it's one of the things on our very long list of things that we would like to get done. Is it the next thing that we are going to get done? Certainly not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to have kind of detailed account level stats and detailed, detailed information like that.
In Bush. Okay, wait, there we go. So I'm either you didn't say that before or I completely misread you, but you're saying that either well, I'm not going to go back and try and call you out, but you can do Merc ult. No, I mean, I think if you're probably shouldn't be able to charge. If you're charging an ability inside Stealth Grass, you probably should become revealed. That is likely the intention. So I'd need to just make a note and see what's going on there.
I'm supposed to shout out Jithens for outplaying people rummaging around for the patch notes. I don't exactly know what happened, but
nice, good shit. Good stuff.
Good job, Jithens.
Good job,
yeah.
buddy. Happy birthday, Jithens.
Who's a quick caster? I'm a quick caster.
Yeah, quick cast is I'm not sure if this is true for everyone, but for me, whenever I play on controller, I think quick cast is the best setting. Yeah. On keyboard and mouse, I think it's very different based on how you play.
I started using quick cast when I was playing more on console.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I started playing the game on PC, and then around when we came out on PS4, I started playing more on PS4 because I was involved in that and trying to like make sure it was a good product. Yada yada yada. And then I like taught myself to play with quick cast on abilities there and whatnot. And and now I just use quick cast everywhere. I like it better. Our West Coast server is still off the table. The higher ping does not feel good from California. So I would say they aren't forever off the table as having a separate West Coast server region. But in general, we think it's healthier that all the players are playing together on the servers that are best for the majority of the player base. We found historically that it is ultimately more of a net win for like every metric that we can look at to just have more people on a region, even if some of them have slightly worse performance, than to try and split people into more regions where they, have slightly better performance. I lived in California and played on the SMITE 1 servers here for years.
Yeah.
And I agree that, it's not the most, responsive thing ever, but it was totally playable, right? I think that, and we have looked at, and we do continue to look at alternative server locations. We've explored siting servers in Chicago. We've explored siting servers in Dallas. We've explored siting servers in pretty much any major server city that you can think of in America. But all of our data suggests that our current server location is the best server location for the majority of our player base.
Yeah.
Because if we move it to, if we move the servers to Dallas, then we are making the servers worse for a percentage of our player base. If we move it to, anywhere we move it, it's going to make it worse for some people and better for others.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the best.
It's a tough one.
The best trade-off that we can do right now. It doesn't mean that, things won't change in the future when we find a better solution. But for right now, this is the best solution.
Well, Bobby, maybe you shouldn't have left me in Georgia. That was messed up, bro.
I'm not meaning to spam chat, but can we get some type of update for any plans on Ranked Joust, please? We have no plans for Ranked Joust at this point in time. Ranked Joust was an extremely unpopular mode. I understand that there are quite a few vocal Ranked Joust people that come to chat relatively frequently, but it was a very small queue in SMITE 1, and splitting our Joust population to have a very small queue that will either not fire certain times of day, most likely, or will, just probably have worse matchmaking because it's fewer people in the queue. It's not a net positive. I think that more of a positive potentially could be one of the things we've talked about in the past is turning Joust into kind of like a hybrid queue where once you hit a certain hidden
then it
MMR
then gives you a rank or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I've seen that in more and more in games nowadays, actually.
So I mean, something like that maybe we could do, but I don't think having a separate ranked Joust queue is high on our list of priorities. Because it's not on our list of priorities at all.
Lunchbox, I don't want to reward you. I keep seeing you say the same thing, and then you put the word thing in there, and then I have to reply. But I don't want to give you that response. But yes, Guan, Broomstick, maybe. Yeah, I'm not even going to give you a full response. One day. I hear you. I see you.
Let's see. I'm just making a note here. Oh, I forgot. I made myself a note. I was looking at my bank statement the other day. And
I'm so curious where this is going.
And I was like, what? Why am I being charged for a Game Pass subscription? I thought I canceled my Game Pass subscription. And then I remembered that I had signed up for a Game Pass trial on one of the work Xboxes to test something out with the new account, and I never turned it off.
Oh, there you go.
I had a note to myself to turn off my Game Pass subscription on the work Xbox. So
I think I just got hit up by Spotify saying they increased my charge.
Rip. Can we get SR added to post game screen after rank game? Yeah, that just disappeared at some point.
Yeah,
we're looking into getting
that a little bit before. We looked at it again. Yeah. I think Kilgoon's been on here saying the end of match lobby needs a little bit of work and some love, and I think this is one of the things that just at some period of time just slipped through the cracks. Yeah. Literally, it just disappeared at one point. Yeah. Even we were like, wait a second, what?
I fully admit I'm not a ranked player in any game, not just Smite.
Sure, okay.
I just don't like that environment.
Sure.
Like I like the kind of like I play games for a competitive outlet, but I'm not trying to go pro,
Sure.
and I don't want to be in that environment. That's my personal opinion on it. So because of that, I have not run into this issue because I don't.
I run into it all the time, and then I write it down, then I forget to say anything about it.
Yeah, you gotta remember to tell me.
I put it down somewhere, and then again, there's still so many things on the list. It's not like the UI team are waiting for things.
I literally have been working on just like a list of all the things for them to do,
and then I feel bad because I just send them some more like you just like small quality of life things, and it's like, oh jeez. Arona, it's still on the list. I'm so sorry that it's taken so long, but I will poke the team again on that one. It's not entirely in my hands, so I can't help there.
Joke's on me. The casuals are way more competitive than the ranked players. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Just the way I live my life.
Is there a reason why Vulcan can't buy mods wherever in the lane? Surely it could be done.
I've thought of this because it's really annoying to me when I leave base and I didn't buy my mod because I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, I think the passive text could probably be more obvious, but also it's like, yeah, I mean, okay, I just think the comparison is odd because it's like, can it use the same logic as Ratatoskos Acorns? Ratatoskos not in the game yet, so like that's not logic that we have in Smite 2.
Oh, it can use the same logic as Chang'e, and a bunny could run them out to you.
So,
yeah.
In terms of like that bullet point, like that doesn't even exist yet. And then in terms of like another bullet point, it's like, yeah, well then, why doesn't everyone just buy items wherever they want? Why, like, okay, but now if we're talking about Vulcan specifically, like Kilgun said, is the issue more so that like people are forgetting and our way of emphasizing that isn't good enough? Or is that actually like a buff that Vulcan himself should have, even if it is very, very clear, right? And those are two different bullet points that we need to be careful about. I'm sure you guys know that's not what I meant. No, I actually had no idea. You literally said compared one thing to a god that doesn't exist yet. And we don't have that tech yet.
Did we see that the Brazilian Pantheon won the recent community poll? I did not, but I'm not super surprised. I think that there's some cool Brazilian gods that we have not addressed, and I think there was some really great conversation in the community about Brazilian gods and concepts and like what a Brazilian god in Smite 2 could look like. So I think that it's a cool idea. We not 100% committed to what the next new god is going to be. It's something we could look at. I think I mentioned this on a previous episode of Titan Talk. But I loved there was an Incan god.
Yes,
it's not Brazilian.
It was,
but
Chaosos.
I loved the Incan Axomama, goddess of potatoes concept. Sick. That was fun. So I think there's a lot of fun stuff that we can do. We definitely look at what the community is suggesting.
That was so cool.
Right now our priority is still on bringing over classic gods because we have a lot of highly demanded classic gods.
God of potatoes. It's got to go up there.
God of potatoes, pretty good. I had a potato for lunch. So
there we go.
I thought of her.
Hey Clumsy, big fan. I know you like Smite Cart. Can we have Nike? It's like the sports references.
Yeah.
That's so messed up. No.
How goes your quest to get more pandas in Smite?
I don't know if I showed you this. I think we were looking at. I don't know if we've released it yet. One of the. I'm just gonna say this: a teleporter VFX. I think we've even showed it, but I'm not gonna say it out loud just in case. That was in dev, and I just basically just replied to. I just sent Veronica a message. I'm like, hey Veronica, can we get more pandas in the game? And she's like, oh, for any reason specifically? I'm like, no, we just have a lack of pandas. But like, everyone loves pandas, so this is me saying it out loud. And to you, Kilgoon, if there's ever a chance where we get pandas, I think it just makes sense.
I'm not logged in.
I think it's just a winning move.
I was trying to pull up. Somebody said, I hope the next god is a warrior. Next god's not a warrior. Next god, obviously,
we've done the roadmap, right?
We've done the roadmap. So we have Neja coming out on Tuesday. Then 2 weeks from Tuesday, we will have Morgan Le Fay.
Exciting.
Then 2 weeks from that, we will have Chiron.
Not Chiron, but Chiron.
And then 2 weeks from that, we will have Gilgamesh. So then that's the first Smite 1 warrior that will be on the list. And we're working on it. Yeah,
I was in Captain Twig's chat earlier, and he was like, "Oh, it's cool that like Gilgamesh is coming out, but like, where are the other staple warriors?" And I'm like, "There's always a thing with everyone's like, he's like Kukulane, it's like okay, double models is a bit hard. Like Tyr, it's like okay, well, Tyr would be cool, but he's got the knockups and movement we have to be careful of. It's okay. It's Vamana, it's like okay, but how many of you really want Vamana?
Did you see Jetpack Cat being added to Overwatch? Let's add a god who can do the same thing.
I haven't looked at have they showed their kits off and stuff?
Yeah,
I haven't looked at it into big detail yet.
I think that the way that they framed that was a little bit odd.
The fact that it's just called Jetpack Cat?
No. They were like, oh, we're releasing 5 gods because we've gotten a lot faster at making gods.
That's what they said? Oh.
But we're going back to doing one god a patch after, or one god a season after this.
Which is that slower than
No, it's the same as they were doing.
Oh, okay.
But it's like clearly they just banked Five Gods to do this big Overwatch No Longer 2
Yeah,
release moment. But I'm just like, I don't know why they felt like they needed to come up with an explanation for why there are five gods. Like, it was just a weird messaging thing.
Yeah.
Probably something most people don't really notice, but like,
but
because I came from the marketing side and I thought a lot about this stuff, like, Killigan just
they
hating.
used to have
no, dude. I wish nothing but like the best.
But they're saying they used to have one god every 2 seasons. So...
Oh, was it one every 2 seasons? Oh,
so is this a 5 drop and then faster?
Okay, all right. Okay. I missed that part. I missed that it was going to be faster.
Can't confirm nor deny. I haven't played in a little bit, but Jetpack Cat is something. I mean, shouldn't have had. Don't they have like names for them? Like, why is it just called Jetpack Cat?
I don't know.
I mean, I love cats, so, and I love jetpacks, I guess.
You know what? I think it's just a ripoff of Jetpack Fighter.
Yeah. You know, like a jetpack's kind of like a cart that flies, right?
I feel like the Soul Reaver change is a nerf. Can you explain how it's not? I think that probably ultimately, yes, it does make it deal less damage most of the time, right? But
yeah, it can. I mean, you have to get really down to details of the numbers specifically, but it also depends on like what you're doing. For example, if you have Soul Reaver and then you buy a Jade Scepter or one item with health, you've already nerfed yourself in a way that's not almost really intentional for the way we want. Like, it kind of restricted you in ways that weren't really our goal. Like, our goal really is if someone's healthier, then you buy these items to kind of counter that health. But yes, I mean, if you just take the base, if you're a complete squishy with no health items and you're taking a tank who's bought a lot of tank items, and I think it is a little bit of a damage decrease, but like the utility and the quality of life and the simplification of where we're at now with both Chin Size and Soul Reaver is better. And those are that's kind of the foundation. That's what matters. And then we can tune the numbers accordingly, right? It would be more rough to do this and then kind of find more balanced numbers that ends up being even stronger. But also, this is a kind of like a buff to characters who do build any level health. If you're a bruiser or you're a tank yourself, and you know, even in non-conquest game modes, this is just a better item. You can splash this in with maybe like a Stone of Binding or a Void Stone and be doing, you know, being pretty effective. Now, whether people like that kind of gameplay is a whole separate question, but it does allow for a different type of gameplay.
Helleron, your issue with the item shop on Xbox, are you on Split Shop or are you on which version of the shop are you using? Because I'll take a look at that later today. I'm doing some other stuff on console this afternoon anyway.
Would there be a rank system in Duel if Joust isn't getting one? Duel's not getting one.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have rank systems for, you know, for both of them.
And Arena?
No, but I think that like Duel is supposed
more
to
of
be
a
competitive game, right?
Like that would be like the opposite, where it is only ranked.
I'll take a look at that. Okay, I've made a note.
Chin's Bologna should definitely be better. Exactly. Is a bug where spots on the item shop becoming unclickable getting fixed? If we can get more information on that one, I've actually poked, I think, the ambassadors for more of a more repro case on that one. We've noticed this one. It's just incredibly hard to track down. I don't know if we've made strides on this patch specifically, but we are aware of it and we know it's frustrating. It has definitely happened to me before. So if you guys have any more information specifically on when the item store ends up being it's also like specific items or like dead spots on the store or something like that. It's an odd one. Any more information will be super helpful there.
Everyone talks about gods, but are you happy with the rate of skins being added to the game? Skin rate has remained constant while the god pool is ever expanding. I would say our skin rate has and our god rate has both remained pretty constant. Generally speaking, we do, one god, 2 travelers, and maybe something extra every update. And that's kind of what we're staffed to be able to do right now. It's not, we if we want to do more, we can't really do too much more. We would have to prioritize and do less of one thing to do more of the other thing. So, we need 8 skins a patch. That would be awesome, I guess. I don't know. We used to do just so many skins a patch in SMITE 1 that I think that it seems a lot slower. But you have to remember too, we are patching every 2 weeks now. We used to patch once a month towards the end of SMITE. So it's still a decent pace. We feel like it's okay, not overwhelming people. Need 30 a patch. Oh geez. Well, sorry about that. Not happening anytime soon.
Mutabot, that is good information. It does help to know it's not just the item shop and it's actually the UI. So the settings button and anything there. So it's like a dead space where you can't click at all. That is good to know because I didn't know that. That's for sure. So like if you're in that item store, let's say I'm just gonna make things up, in the middle of your screen you can't click that item. If you open up the settings menu, it's that spot as well that is unclickable. That is good to know. That is news to me.
So it's a dead spot in the store.
Like I'm wondering if like a pause or a UI vote or there's something.
There must
that,
be some other UI element.
Yeah, that's like blocking that area. Like that. If you hear any more MOBA, hit me up directly. Like that's like again, what comes to mind is if you like dying pause votes, surrender votes. If there's something else that's like causing that to happen or not. Because I know it doesn't happen every game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I saw another good question, but I can't remember where it is now. Oh, it was about the combat rule, I believe. Wilgis, there it is again. In combat has a very specific like clause to it that Pon literally told me before I came on the show. Now I can't fully remember, but I think it's actually in the Brawler's Beat Stick description, so it should actually be there. I don't know if it was there in PTS or not, but I remember he literally showed it to me. So that clause of what exactly in combat is will be there on the description.
What about adding builds on match history? That's something we'd like to eventually. Just
there he goes. Combat is 6 seconds from taking or dealing damage. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I was done. Super Bowl predictions. Do you have Super Bowl predictions?
Sports? Who's playing?
It's the Seahawks and the Patriots.
Oh, Patriots. I recognize that name a lot.
Yeah.
Who won last year?
I don't.
Neither of these two teams were on it.
No, I don't remember who won last year.
I was in Bobby's chat. And a lot of people said Seahawks, which makes me want to do the opposite. I want the Patriots to win again because I know they've won a lot.
Well, they used to win a lot back when Tom Brady was the quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they have been losing a lot for the past few years, and now they've got this new kid Drake May, and they're
okay,
they're better again.
Why is everyone saying Eagles?
Yeah, they must have won last year. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Patriots haven't won in nearly 10 years. That's how you know I'm old.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Oh my God, it's been that long.
See, another sign that Chad is not true sports enthusiasts is that the top topic in the sports world right now is NBA trade deadline was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So all the big basketball trades were coming through, and it was a crazy trade deadline.
Yeah?
Let me tell you. Yeah. Win next Uller skin. See, I'm asking win next Uller nerf. We're just not the same.
Parcero.
The hot topic in sports is heated rivalry. Have you seen this? This is like
No.
Oh, it's a like I think it's like hockey romance show.
Oh, interesting.
And it's very, very popular with the
What's it
people.
called?
Heated romance.
Heated
rivalry.
Heated rivalry.
Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah.
As a Canadian, I feel like anything hockey related, I need to know at least a little bit about.
When are we going into detail for pen changes? When we're ready when we are further along. We just understand that there are some things that we would like to change and update. And, I think that knowing that we are looking at the problem is probably the right level of information right now.
Yes.
Because we're still working through things.
Yeah.
When are we going to see a SMITE 2 Super Bowl trailer? Approximately never.
On Super Bowl.
For a couple of reasons. Number one, they're extremely expensive.
Obscenely so.
How much do you think an ad is this year? Let's just ask. Ad price Super Bowl.
$8 million.
Oh, that's a lot. 2025. You are right. It's $8 million.
No way!
Yeah. Oh, damn. That's pretty crazy. For a 30-second ad, $8 million. So, first off, $8 million is a lot of money. Secondly, the only way that makes sense as a product, right, is if you think that you appeal to such a wide swath of the people that are watching the Super Bowl.
Who's the one footballer that I should know his name. We talked about him before. Was it the Vamana skin that we were?
Oh yeah. I don't remember his name.
No, Schultz.
Oh no, that's so different. Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz. He played. I remember him and Rathan would talk about they'd play Smite together and stuff like that. And that was cool.
He's still really good. He was in the playoffs this year. I think he got injured.
Oh really?
And then his team lost. But yeah. So anyway, $8 million for a 30-second ad. I could spend $8 million a lot more effectively targeting people that maybe are interested in our actual game, right? Fair. You have to be kind of like a mass market consumer product or a movie or something like that for it to really make sense. Like a car, a beer, chips, things like that every American is going to be interested in for 8 million to possibly math out for you. Either that or you're like a crypto scam. That could maybe work out for you.
Yeah, or rug pull. I mean, I think we could use that 8 million and turn that into SMITE card funds personally. But
see, think about it. With $8 million, think about how many cars we could give away.
Yeah, exactly. Approximately one cart.
SMITE at FIFA World Cup confirmed. Also not going to be a part of the FIFA World Cup, but they will be in Atlanta. So
cool.
The World Cup games are going to be at. Did you know this? Sorry, last sports topic. I'm going to move away from sports for the rest of today. The arenas or the stadiums for the World Cup, they can't use their names. So instead of being Mercedes-Benz Stadium, it's going to be called Atlanta Stadium. And they have to cover over all of the branding because it's not like FIFA approved.
Right.
It's recognized as that.
Kind of makes sense.
So yes, so at Atlanta Stadium we will be getting some World Cup.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Just take a SMITE banner to the game. That's funny.
We've got that Adventures banner that's still behind.
Have we asked if an ambassador would want a guest on Titan Talk? We've talked about it at high level, but we haven't really jumped into
people have
too
mentioned
much.
ambassadors, pros,
it's a little bit
different formats we could do.
A little bit harder for us to do the joint call with Discord, but we can. So it's something that we should probably do eventually. When is Crit getting nerfed? What are your thoughts on Crit?
Crit's doing pretty good right now. I think we have some thoughts on it. That being said, we're also being told that the spectral items are some of the best items in the game too. So I would definitely recommend, if you feel like Crit's good, make sure to pick up spectral, because you have two options now, one for the physical and one for the magical side too.
Yeah.
But it's always like tank meta, crit meta, mage meta, right? Those are always going to be some of the most prevalent ones. So I would say just make sure that you have the adequate defenses against crit. But it's good, and we are aware of how good it is. But we've also nerfed a lot of high power items, and I think as you get higher strength, high power being strength, of course, as you have more strength, crit only gets better too. So I saw a lot of people going Reaper, Erendite, Oathsworn Spear, high strength into crit. I know that sounds crazy, but then your numbers go wild too. So as those get toned down, you have to be careful too.
Isn't it good because crit's good? It's also good because it's minus 30% attack speed for anybody in the range, and that's actually, I think, most effective before you've built attack speed.
Yeah, true.
So it's at its most effective at the beginning of the game. This is a good question from Pon. You can delete one god, no consequences. Who is it?
I mean, from SMITE 1 or SMITE 2, I think the answer for me has always been Bakasura Vamana. I'm just not fond of those. Those are someone asked me that I think yesterday. Those are the two bottom characters on my list on the totem pole, which I think I know Pon enjoys Bakasura, or maybe both of those. I can't remember. I know a lot of people are saying Bake Kujira, but actually Bake Kujira I think is salvageable in a lot of ways. I would be excited to tackle okay, maybe not excited, but I'd be happy to tackle the problem that is Bake Kujira. Okay. He's got a really cool aesthetic as well. But Baka and Vamana do not incite happiness.
All right. I'm gonna give
voting for Giannis. That's so messed up, man.
Wait, what was the thing?
Pon just goes voting for Giannis since he wants to delete my precious Vamana.
So I was actually about to say Giannis is my answer because no. Okay, I have a fair argument here. Fair argument. Okay.
I'm listening.
So two reasons. First reason, right? So damn slippery, right?
Yeah,
Just always out of range, so fast. Finally caught him. Nope, he's through a wall. F you.
Yeah.
Second part, this is always the Giannis on the other team.
Yeah, it's never your Giannis.
Never my Giannis. My Giannis can't hit a damn ability to save their life.
Their Giannis snipes my carry.
3,000 player damage in an entire game. But their Giannis... Yeah, so
that's where you got to just be the Giannis. That's what I do. You're right, though. If I have a Giannis on my team, that's not me. It's a problem. So I just be the Giannis.
Yeah, so that's why I would remove Giannis from the game. Okay, it's 2:00. We got time for one more question. Thanks everybody for coming today. We'll be back on Monday. Monday we'll probably just do a quick run through of patch notes and then take questions. Patch is live on Tuesday. I have to do box art this afternoon. That's a good reminder to myself. And I have to cancel that Game Pass subscription. I appreciate everybody always taking time out of their day to chill with us and ask questions. And
always a good
it's always fun. Let's see. Got to pick a good last question here. Thoughts on bringing back the chibi skins? Guessing they were pretty popular, right? The chibi skins were popular, but they are also very difficult skins to bring over because they all involve their own unique like rigging and animation sets.
Yeah.
So they are just very challenging to bring over. And right now, our rigging and animation teams are pretty full up just bringing over the gods. And there are some animation changes and new animations that we have to do for every god. So we can't bring over a ton of skins that are highly animation intensive, right? And that's basically between the gods and the saga that we do every once in a while. That's our entire animation bandwidth. And so it would be cool to do some of the chibi skins. Some of them were very popular, but it's just not, doesn't fit in the schedule right now, unfortunately.
I've actually got two that I want to answer.
Yeah, go for it.
So Mutabuzz, there's a meta brewing for backliners getting Blink, Aegis beads. It's pretty unfun. Just basically the strength of upgraded relics and the prevalence. I think we're still finding people getting used to them and building into them. That being said, we did last nerf time-locked Aegis to be less strong. We know that there is strength in those three specifically as kind of defensive utility options, right? Is one of the things that was always a worry about having two relics is that people are going to tend to use them more defensively. That being said, there are ways to nerf them, either their stats specifically, the percentage they give you, or their effects. But we want to make sure that, I would say that the meta is brewing. It is much more of a high-level concern than it is everywhere else. But that being said, upgraded relics and actives as a whole do tend to affect the top end of players more so than the rest of them. So it's not like we're going to ignore that. But it's also important to see where that shakes out a little bit because sometimes, we might see an uptick of that or we might see people kind of countering that with their own things. I would actually say that upgraded like Shell has also been extremely strong too, right? There's almost all of them have a good level of strength to them. So that's important. And then the other question I wanted to answer was Super Bagels, which is any thoughts about going back to earlier gods of Smite 2 and giving them +1s? That's something that, we've talked about in the past. We've even addressed. There's just there's a whole arc of things that we want to look at, right? We want to look at the current issues that are in the game based on itemization, huge balance and design pass that we've talked about before. We want to look at aspects and we have this exact same question about, okay, when are you going to go back to some of the older aspects and revamp them to make sure that they're there too? Then we have just the plus ones, like people want more love for Cernos, want more love for Odin, want more love for some of these characters. And, we did a little bit of that over time for Hades, for example, right? We got a lot of appreciation for when we upgraded his 2 to be slightly better. So there's a whole arc of work, and I think it's the cop-out answer to say, it'll come with time, but that is also the answer we have to be very, very cognizant of. We are thinking about those things. Even when I mentioned the Cernos buff, we know people want the intelligence based kind of feature there. We talked about that for Medusa as well when she was buffed too. So we're cognizant of all those issues. It's just a matter of bandwidth and our priorities on what's coming up next. And we want to make sure that every 2 weeks when we deliver a god, those gods hit really well. Those aspects that tend to come out with them hit well, and then whatever balance and other adjustments we can do, making sure that we don't have to then go back and 1 year from now we don't go backwards and go, okay, what about the ones that we released February 2025 and let's see how we revamp those, right? We have to be very cognizant of design debt.
JDog for Twitch has reminded me of something that I should mention. If you are a Game Pass subscriber, we have recently updated our quarterly kind of free skin that you get on Game Pass.
Cool.
So High Honor Hua Mulan is available free for Game Pass subscribers now, and you can get it on any platform. You just have to have your accounts linked and log in, and there's you can search for it and you can figure out how to do it. So get your free Hua Mulan skin if you are a Game Pass subscriber. And as one final round, I'm going to push this button and I'm going to hope that this brings up the right thing. This did bring up the right thing. Look at this. Right? We have the North American Conquest Smite Prime tournament tomorrow. So check it out if you want to see some North American Conquesters. With that, it's been a good week. It's been fun chatting with y'all. And any closing words you good?
No, I'm excited for the weekend, and this week's always so exciting because we've got the God release, we've got the bounce notes, and then it just comes out a few days later. So have a great weekend and enjoy the patch when it comes out on Tuesday.
Yep, and we will see you on the battleground of the gods. Bye-bye.